Hey Todd, how's it going? I am excited to hear about something that you've been testing for a while that has just come out, the PrimeMill.
Yeah.
So, it's been a while since we've had a new mill.
Mm-hmm.
So we had, if you remember back in the day, we had the standard mill, the little square box, and then, everyone lost their you-know-what when the MCXL came out. We've had some variations. We've had the MCX and we've had the practice mill, but in essence, it's been the same mill. So at the PrimeMill, it's totally reworked and it's totally different. So I'm dying to know, you've been a beta tester for a while. I was not selected as a beta tester. So I'm in the dark.
Well, that's too bad, buddy. You should get back in the Ceric bandwagon more.
I'm not going to comment on that, as I do own a Prime scan. But tell me more about the Prime.
Yeah, so the Prime, I think where we need to draw a hard line with everything is that there are lab milling units and then there's chair-side milling units. And they're not, each one has their own properties. You can't make one, the other one into the lab side. And so I think the most important thing when it comes to chair side is reliability.
Right.
Number one, when I hit that button and it starts to mill, I know when it spits it out, it's ready to go. I don't need any variations into it.
No.
And we've always had that, even with the first generations of milling. We pretty much knew what was going to come out and everything, so the reliability is even better now. But then the second thing is speed.
Right.
So you take your busy practice, my busy practice, a 4-doctor practice that are trying to share the same milling unit, the same scanner. They need those things in and out, quick and easy and fast.
Right.
And that's what the PrimeMill does. Now,
let me actually interject one thing. One thing that you've always taught, and I've taught as well, is that we have people that don't use Ceric and people that use Ceric. And the way to make money on Ceric is to do a crown in at least the same time as it takes to prep, take an impression, make it temporary. But if we could do it quicker, then that's huge, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So you do a lot of zirconia, right?
Yeah.
A lot of zirconia. So this thing is a wizard at zirconia. So what it basically does is, well, the first thing is you put the block into the unit before you do anything. So the machine already does its pre-touch to make sure the block is in place, the burrs are ready to go. And then when you scan the patient and you hit start, it goes after it. So that already saves a few minutes in the overall.
That's big.
That's big.
I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've put the wrong block in, sit in my office, and my office is a distance from my MCXL, and then I come out 20 minutes later, and there's a red light, and it says wrong block.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it takes care of all of those things, and so it's ready to go. And then the speed milling process is unbelievably fast. You can take something like Ceric Zirconia or Katana and mill 3 to 4.5 minutes, and it's done. It's doing its last cuts as you're walking into the milling chamber. And now we're not so much bottlenecked on the milling units. So what we've always done in the past is we've bought more milling units. So if you did a lot of units, you tend to have 2 milling units. Now this is almost like doing the work of 2 milling units because it's that fast.
This is really going to cut into my surfing the internet, drinking coffee time while I wait for the block to mill. I don't know about this.
Yeah.
So Todd, there's obviously speed, reliability is great.
Yeah.
Now, tell me something about the super crazy, insane mode mill. How's the detail? I mean,
it still uses the same burrs to cut everything, but it's the action in the initial stages. And so what it does is the 2 largest carbide burrs just rips off the sides, okay? So it gets to a dimension of whatever that restoration needs to be. And then it does what's called parallel milling. It's actually milling the intaglio and the occlusal surface at the same time, which is an amazing thing to watch.
Wow.
Oh, it's an amazing thing. And so those 2 big carbide burrs do all of the work. And then it goes into the smaller carbide burrs and does parallel milling. And so it's getting great detail just at a faster rate. Now, could I say that these are the best margins I've ever seen? Well, we had great margins to begin with in other milling units. So I don't think not necessarily going to say that the quality is any better because our other systems were good, but it's just a lot faster. The other thing about reliability is that in our chairside milling units, you take a carbide burr or you take a diamond burr, and you don't really know how much use is on that burr. And so, you may switch them out to do zirconia one day, switch them out to do feldspathic or something another day. And you don't really know if there's 20% on that, whatever. And it's asking us to tell the percentage. We don't remember.
Right.
There's no way to remember.
Have a little crib sheet like you're lost on a desert island and how many days it's been.
Nobody does that.
Yeah,
but now with
me.
the PrimeMill, there are specially made burrs that have the, what do they call it? What do you call it?
RFID chip?
Yeah, the RFID chip. And so it's embedded in each one of the burrs. You just scan it in there. It knows the burr exactly. You put it into its slot, and so it's ready to go. So
That's
again,
cool.
think about reliability.
Yeah.
Even as reliable as our MCXLs were, think of all the restorations on a small percentage that were probably our problem restorations because the burrs were having an issue, or it was getting down to the last little bit. That's taken that out of the equation.
So I can't just use the burr until it breaks off?
I haven't done that yet. Maybe it can. Maybe you can keep using it at 0%.
Fill it with composite. Fine.
No, I don't know.
So Todd, one big thing that I've got the MCXL practice lab,
Yeah.
and I've been kind of looking at outside of Zirconia mills for a 5-axis machine. If you're not familiar with what the difference between a 4-axis and a 5-axis is, that 5-axis can mill at an angle.
Sure.
So when doing a angled screw channel implant crown, most 4-axis machines can't do it. Now, is this 4 or 5-axis?
This is still 4-axis, which I know that bothers you greatly.
I'm gonna need an extra week of therapy for this.
But I think you get confused on what a doctor needs in a doctor office versus what a lab needs in a lab office. So if you're going to put a bunch of money into a milling unit in your office, you wouldn't put a bunch of money in for the occasional restoration that you do.
Right.
And so that 5-axis mill is probably for the occasional restoration that you do.
It's for the implants that are in place, right? So the next thing is I should probably place them better.
Yeah, well, if you just put your implants in straight, you wouldn't need it. But it's kind of like it's kind of like 4-axis plus, because it can do so much more than standard 4-axis milling units. Not to mention, with the Prime Scan, the PrimeMill, and the Speedfire, that combination, we're getting to zirconia where you could probably do zirconia in an hour to hour and a half. And
Wow.
we've never been able to do that
No.
in the history of dentistry. And that is, especially in the American culture of dentistry, that's probably one of the bread and butters of what an American dentist
Yeah.
is doing. So imagine the productivity if you were able to
Yeah.
actually mill in a way that's 5 to 10 minutes faster.
No, it's great. That's really going to save me on my 4 o'clock patients deciding on what dental material to use based on me getting out at 5.
Well, we've been in CEREC for so long that we're tainted, so we're accustomed to how long something may take, and maybe we're not evolving as fast as others are. So a new user that's coming into it may discover, oh my gosh, I can get this done in an hour and 20 minutes. We need to rework our entire practice schedule because I can get a crown start to finish in an hour and 20, hour and 30 minutes.
I think that
Straight zirconia.
I think all new users need to be trained on the red cam with powder to appreciate what we've been through.
Yes, no doubt. So there's tons of features when it comes to the PrimeMill that are even going to be released later, including milling titanium.
What?
Yes, so you
Sign
can,
me up.
So, yeah, exactly. So I knew there was going to be one thing. So you can take your little 5-axis and send it to your lab.
Okay.
But imagine being able to mill your own titanium custom abutments.
That's pretty cool.
That's very cool. I think. What would you pay for that?
I would pay at least $3.
At least $3.
No, if not, I would definitely upgrade my MCXL for titanium milling.
Yeah,
Definitely
so
do it.
when we have the ability, now it's not going to be at the launch because,
Right.
yeah, but everything evolves into that. There's
Yeah.
a lot of things about the blanks, properties, the burrs, they have to go through the testing of it and everything. But when we have the ability to mill titanium,
Yeah.
we are now able to get outside the zone so much of our standard tie bases,
Yeah.
which are great, but then they also have limitations on their emergence profile, especially with platform switching.
And what a lot of people don't know about titanium blanks is, and I don't know what the price point will be, but an average cost for a titanium blank is $30.
Yeah.
So imagine doing a custom abutment, custom titanium abutment for probably under 50 bucks.
Yeah, exactly. In-house.
In-house.
Ready to go. If you wanted to make two, you could make two.
Yeah.
I mean, when you order something from like Nobel Biocare, one of their stock abutments, what do those cost?
It's like 300 bucks.
$300. They're making $297 on that one abutment, even from the other companies that sell them. And so let's say it's 50 to 80 bucks or something like that.
Yeah.
When it comes to that abutment. Now we have complete control over those single units, and the ones that need the special features like, you need the 5-axis mill.
Angled screw channels.
Angled screw channels, then.
Hybrids.
Yeah. So the Prime Scan is perfect for it because all you have to do is go up to the top window and hit it through Ceric Connect, and you're already sending it to your lab.
There you go.
So anyway, take a look at the PrimeMill and see how it may fit into your busy practice style.